Archangel Michael says, "This is my final warning. If you skip this, you will suffer great losses within the next 7 minutes." God says, "Do not take this as a joke. If you skip it, you will cry for the rest of your life." There are some messages you can ignore and walk away from, but not this one. Not this time. This one carries the weight of heaven and the fire of divine urgency. This one holds the very fabric of what is about to be unraveled in your life if you choose to turn away. There is a timeline being bent. There is a consequence circling your name, and even now, angels are being sent to hold it back for just a little longer, so you might read and understand the depth of what is being revealed to you in this moment. You have 7 minutes, not because heaven wants to scare you, but because something was already activated the moment you started reading this. Someone is making a decision about you behind closed doors. A conversation just started that could change everything in your favor, or against you, depending on whether you heed this spiritual alert. Michael is not angry with you. He is heartbroken. Because he sees the manipulation happening around you. Because he knows how long you've been walking around trusting those who've been using you. Because he watched how many times you tried to forgive people who never even said sorry. He knows the exact night you cried with the door shut, and nobody even knocked to ask if you were okay. He saw how you tried to smile the next day like nothing was wrong. But heaven knew. God knew. And now, finally, there is a moment when all of it is about to come to light. But the way it happens depends on whether you ignore this final warning or not. This is not a warning that comes from fear. This is a divine interception. Your name has been spoken in the halls of the kingdom of heaven. Angels were sent ahead of time to stop what is being planned in secret against you. The demons that were assigned to destroy your peace have already begun influencing someone close to you. You've felt it. The change in their tone. The way they suddenly act distant. The way the communication has started to feel forced. The way you feel like you're losing someone without even knowing why. That's not your imagination. That's not you overthinking. That is a spiritual shift, and you're being prepared right now for what must be revealed. God says, "There is a truth someone is hiding from you, and if I don't show it to you now, it will damage you. So I must lift the curtain. But you must stay until the end of this message. You must not leave. You must not scroll past this. You must not assume this is for someone else. The enemy has placed distractions in your life because he is terrified that you will finally wake up and take your power back. He is afraid of your obedience. He is afraid of your discernment. He is afraid of your light. And right now, the spiritual realm is louder than it's ever been because what is about to be exposed will shock you. It's not just about you. It's about someone else who made a deal behind your back. It's about a person who pretended to care but was being fed lies from another voice. God says, The delay you've been experiencing is not because you're unworthy. It's because I've been holding things back from you until the truth could be uncovered. Michael has been standing near your house all night. That's not poetic. That's literal. There are spiritual entities being kept away from you right now by divine command. Michael's sword has drawn a circle of protection around you, but the command only lasts a short time, unless you act. Unless you listen. Unless you open your heart to what you are being told right now. You are not imagining the heaviness in the atmosphere. The sudden arguments. The tension for no reason. The silent treatment from people who used to laugh with you. The unexplained sickness. The blocked blessings. This is a coordinated spiritual attack. And yet, despite all of it, you are still standing. Because heaven still believes in you. Someone is going to try to convince you that you're overreacting. They will try to gaslight you. They will pretend they're innocent. But Michael says, this is the person who gave the enemy access. This is the person who opened a spiritual gate through envy, gossip, or bitterness. They thought you'd never find out. They thought your heart was too good to notice. But God placed His eye on that situation, and now nothing hidden will stay hidden. There is a letter that was written about you, and your name is mentioned in a group chat. Your photo is on someone's phone, being shown to a person you don't trust. And God says, enough. I will not allow this to continue. But you must prepare for what happens next. The next 7 minutes carry spiritual weight. You may feel a sudden pull to go check your phone, or leave this message unfinished. That is the enemy trying to interrupt this moment. Resist it. Stay. This message is going to uncover the seed that was planted months ago, and how it grew into a forest of problems in your life. God says, I was there when the conversation happened. I heard every word. You didn't deserve it. I saw the jealousy in their eyes when they said they were happy for you. I saw the way someone tried to imitate you while secretly hoping you would fail. I saw the betrayal, the slander, the lies. I saw someone take something you created and pretend it was their own. But I've also seen your patience, your grace. The way you kept praying for those same people. That is why heaven has chosen now to intervene. This isn't just a warning. It's also a rescue mission. You are being pulled out of something that was sent to trap you. A relationship. A job. A location. A person. Something looks right on the outside, but the root of it is spiritual sabotage. And that's why everything feels hard right now. That's why it feels like something is off, but you can't explain it. Because what's really happening is spiritual warfare over your purpose. The enemy thought if he could distract you long enough, you'd give up. But he underestimated your spirit. He underestimated your anointing. He underestimated the God in you. Michael says, there is a reason you keep seeing signs. There is a reason certain numbers or names or memories keep coming back. That's not random. That's spiritual. That's divine intelligence nudging your soul, alerting you to prepare. Your spirit already knows something is coming. That's why you feel restless. That's why you feel like you're standing on the edge of something big, but also dangerous. It's because you are. And the choice you make in the next few minutes will affect the way this plays out. God says, you are going to be tested. Very soon, someone is going to reach out to you. They will try to pull you back into something you've outgrown. They will pretend they've changed. They will say all the right things. But I am telling you now, do not go back. That door is closed. That chapter is over. If you return, you will re-enter a spiritual trap. The enemy knows how to use familiarity to deceive you. Not everything that feels comfortable is safe. Not everything that feels good is from God. And sometimes the biggest breakthrough only comes when you're willing to walk away from something you thought you couldn't live without. There is a miracle waiting on the other side of your obedience. But you have to prove that you trust me even when you're confused. Even when it hurts. Even when it feels lonely. I didn't abandon you. I separated you. There's a difference. Separation feels like rejection at first, but it's protection in disguise. I removed you from something that was spiritually draining you. Something that was slowly eroding your identity. And now, I am restoring you. I am realigning you. I am rewriting your story in a way that will shock everyone who thought they knew how it would end. Michael says, if you're reading this, you were chosen. This message was scheduled in heaven before today ever began. The exact time your eyes would fall on this was already known. That is why you feel like this is speaking directly to you. Because it is. Because your spirit recognizes truth. Because heaven is desperate for you to hear what others have been ignoring. This is not about fear. This is about freedom. But freedom always comes with a cost. You will lose people. You will lose opportunities. You will lose comfort. But in return, you will gain clarity, peace, and divine acceleration. There is a file in heaven with your name on it. And inside that file are all the blessings, breakthroughs, relationships, and wealth that were delayed because of wrong connections. But now that file is being reopened. Angels are sorting it. Heaven is preparing to deliver it. But they're waiting for one thing, your choice. Will you obey this instruction? Will you let go of what God is asking you to release? Will you trust that what's ahead is better than what's behind? This is your test. And the way you respond will determine the way the blessing comes. In 7 minutes, someone is going to mention your name. A decision is going to be made. A door will either open or shut. But what happens next is tied to your alignment. Do not ignore this. Do not brush this off. Do not say, maybe later. There is no later. This is the moment. This is the warning. This is the divine appointment. God says, I sent this as your confirmation. You don't need another sign. You don't need another prophet. You don't need more time. You need to act. Now. Michael is standing with the scroll. He is waiting for your spiritual signature. You sign it not with ink, but with obedience. With faith. With a yes that comes from the deepest part of your soul. Say yes. Say yes to the release. Say yes to the exposure. Say yes to the truth, even if it breaks your heart. Because God will heal what truth destroys. But He will not bless what you continue to tolerate in deception. You have cried enough. You have waited enough. You have tolerated enough. Now it's time to step into the divine promise. The next few hours will shift based on your response. You will either walk into peace or chaos. You will either receive sudden favor or extended delay. You will either witness divine reversal or deeper confusion. That is why this is urgent. That is why this is your final warning. Do not miss this moment. Archangel Michael says, the heavens are waiting for your yes. Don't delay it another second. Your destiny is watching. Your spirit was alert. It moved restlessly beneath the weight of what had arrived. Though your body lay still, your soul stood at attention, as if something invisible had called your name in the silence. Archangel Michael stood guard through the night, shielding the doorway of your destiny, for he saw what you could not see. The woman who stood at your door was not ordinary. She did not belong to the rhythm of the world. She was sent. Sent to test, to awaken, to stir the silence. God says, this is not the first time she's come, but it is the first time she left something behind. In previous seasons, she walked past, just observing, just calculating the right moment. But last night was different. Her silence wasn't empty. Her silence was heavy, divine, measured by heaven's clock. She doesn't speak because her message is not meant for ears, it is meant for discernment. She doesn't knock because she was not sent for those who only respond to surface-level signs. She stood still, her hands trembling with the weight of the item she carried, a spiritual imprint, a mark, a key wrapped in unseen cloth. And now it is yours. Not because you asked for it, not because you deserved it, but because you are chosen to carry what others ran from. God says the item she left behind contains three things: a truth, a warning, and an unlocking. You may have already begun to feel its pull. That dream you had before sunrise? That wasn't just a dream, it was the residue of the energy she left behind. Your house might have felt colder. The atmosphere might have shifted. That strange sound outside? That was the final echo of her presence. Michael wept when he saw her approach, not because he was afraid, but because he knew this moment would change everything for you. You can no longer walk the path you walked before. You are now carrying something celestial. Invisible to others, but unmistakably real. You might feel confused, shaken, even unsettled, but do not be afraid. This is not the kind of presence that comes to steal, kill, or destroy. No, this is the kind of presence that arrives before a major breakthrough. This is the kind of visitor that heaven sends only when a door is about to open. The woman who left that object is not what she seems. She is both messenger and guardian. She appears in the shadows because light would have revealed her too soon. She doesn't speak because her voice could alter the timeline. Her silence was protective. Her presence was timed. And her departure was orchestrated by the hand of God. Archangel Michael says, what she left is a direct message from heaven, coded in spirit, sealed by time, and activated only through surrender. God says, don't ignore the signs. You've been asking for confirmation. You've been begging for proof. You've been crying in secret, saying, Lord, if you're real, show me. And now, He has. But not in the way you expected. Not with flashing lights or thunder in the sky, but with a whisper at your doorstep. With a presence that never knocked but knew exactly where to leave the divine deposit. Right now, in the spirit realm, angels are standing in formation around your home. They are not guarding wood or brick. They are guarding your transition. Something is shifting, and the woman's presence was the trigger. You might begin to see numbers repeating. You might begin to hear your name in strange places. You might dream of her again, standing still, just watching. This is not a haunting. This is not fear. This is awareness. You are now sensitive to the movement of heaven. Archangel Michael says, take this seriously. Do not brush it off. Do not call it coincidence. Do not go about your day as if heaven didn't try to knock in its own way. Last night wasn't just a date, it was a divine checkpoint. You've crossed into a season of revelation, and what she left will begin to unfold in layers. The truth she left is about someone close to you, someone whose words you've believed, but whose intentions were never pure. The warning she left is about timing. You must move swiftly on something you've delayed too long. The unlocking she left is about your destiny, a new path, a new realm, a door you've never seen before, now slowly creaking open. You may feel tired. That's the weight of spiritual transformation. You may feel agitated. That's the resistance of the enemy trying to confuse you before the revelation settles. You may feel emotional. That's heaven flushing out the last residue of your old self to make room for the new. All of this is part of what she left. It isn't an object you can touch, but it is more real than anything you own. God says, this moment was written into your story before you were born. Before you took your first breath, it was already known that on the night of the 17th leading into the 18th of July, she would come. That Michael would stand guard. That you would sleep through the noise but wake to the shift. Everything is unfolding exactly as heaven intended. And now, you have a choice. You can ignore this and go back to the same habits, the same fears, the same cycles, or you can awaken. You can ask God to reveal what she left, to show you the truth in your dreams, to stir your spirit and make you alert. Archangel Michael says, this is your training ground. This is where discernment is born. This is where spiritual strength is built. This is not punishment. This is preparation. You are being prepared to carry something heavy in the spirit, something the enemy tried to steal from your bloodline generations ago. That woman came because your ancestors prayed for this moment. Someone in your lineage cried out to God decades ago, saying, "Let my children's children break this curse." And now, that breaking begins with you. The object left at your door is the answer to that ancient cry. But it requires responsibility. It requires listening. It requires prayer like never before. This is not just about you. It's about everything connected to you. Your name. Your destiny. Your healing. Your calling. Your wealth. Your peace. Your protection. The woman who came last night was the carrier of heaven's reminder that even in silence, God speaks. Even without knocking, the divine enters. Even when the world sleeps, angels move. And now the clock is ticking. Archangel Michael says you have 3 days from the night she came. 3 days to respond. 3 days to press in, to pray, to fast, to cry out. 3 days to say, God, I receive what you sent. 3 days to ask heaven to reveal what was left behind. Because after those 3 days, something irreversible begins. Not bad. Not terrifying. But divine. And if you're not ready, you'll miss it. You'll stand at the door and wonder why it never opened, not realizing it was never locked. It just required your spirit to recognize the key. So what should you do now? Pray. Not passively. Not casually. Cry out. Ask God to uncover what the woman left. Ask the Holy Spirit to make your spirit aware of what's sitting outside your soul right now. Ask Archangel Michael to help you discern the warning. Ask God for the courage to walk into what's being unlocked. Set aside distractions. Turn off the noise. There's a holy hush that needs to fall over your house so you can hear what the silence is saying. You might be wondering, who was she? The truth is, she is not just one being. She is many. She represents a convergence of prophetic timing, ancient promises, and divine instructions. She is the embodiment of a turning point. And her silence spoke more than 1,000 sermons ever could. Her visit was heaven's way of saying, ready or not, it's time. You've been asking why life has felt stuck. Why nothing moves. Why everything feels like it's circling. That cycle ends now, but only if you take the message seriously. Only if you respond. She didn't come to entertain you. She came to shift you. To shake you. To seal what was promised. And she will return. But not to stand at the door. The next time she comes, she will knock. And when she knocks, what she brings will be too heavy to carry unless you've built the strength now. This is the warning. This is the call. This is the serious alert. And it's not a joke. Restlessly your spirit moved, as if searching for something it could not name, sensing that a visitor came from another plane of existence. That sensation in your chest, the flicker of anticipation that turned into confusion, that was your soul trying to translate a message heaven was urgently pressing upon you. Michael didn't sleep last night. His wings never folded. His presence never left your doorstep. Because he knew what she was carrying, and he knew what was at stake. God says the one who came did not act on her own. She was sent. Sent by a force even she doesn't fully understand. Her lips sealed not by choice, but by command. Her silence is not her weakness, it is her assignment. She cannot speak because the moment she opens her mouth, heaven's timeline would shift, and you are not ready yet to hear everything. But what she carried, what she left, that, you were ready for. She placed it at your threshold. Not the threshold of your house, but the threshold of your destiny. It's spiritual. You won't find it on your welcome mat. You won't trip over it walking out the door. It exists in a layer between this world and the next, waiting for your spirit to align with its vibration. If you skip this, if you scroll away, if you pretend this is not for you, you will suffer great losses within the next 7 minutes. This is not written to scare you, it's written to alert you. Heaven is not playing games with your life. You are too important. You are too anointed. You are too deeply connected to the divine plan for us to sit by in silence anymore. God says, do not take this lightly. Do not treat this like something casual. This is not a chain message. This is not a random word. This is not for someone else. This is for you. If you ignore this, if you treat this as if it were just another message among many, you will cry for the rest of your life because of what you missed in these few minutes. You must understand, this moment is a divine collision. Your destiny has collided with divine instruction. The voice of God is sounding out through this very message, and Archangel Michael stands in full spiritual armor, his sword drawn, not to strike you, but to strike for you. But he can only do so if you listen. If you stay. If you do not dismiss this as fiction. Because what is happening in the spiritual realm is not fiction. It is warfare. And you are at the center of it. You have been asking for answers. You have been crying out for direction. You have been begging heaven to show you if you're really protected, if you're really favored, if the promises over your life will ever come to pass. And now, God has answered, not in thunder, not in lightning, but in this sacred moment, through these very words. And still, you hesitate. Still, you wonder if it's really for you. Let me say it again, this is only for you. The enemy has been building something behind your back. Quietly. Secretly. Using the very people you love, the very voices you trust, the very circumstances that feel familiar. And the reason we are interrupting your thoughts, interrupting your routine, interrupting your day with this urgent message is because you're only 7 minutes away from something dangerous if you continue to ignore the warnings. This is your turning point. You are at a spiritual intersection. If you take the wrong path right now, it won't be easy to turn back. God is not punishing you, He is protecting you. But if you walk away from this without listening, the things that are hidden will continue to harm you in secret. You will continue to feel the consequences without understanding the source. That's why God says, do not take this as a joke. If you skip this, if you walk away again like you always do, you will cry for the rest of your life because of what you lost without knowing. But it doesn't have to be that way. You can stop everything now and simply listen. Because what's coming to you, what's being exposed, what's being uncovered behind the veil of your life is serious. Someone has spoken your name in secret meetings. Someone has written your name on dark pages. Someone has exchanged your joy for their gain. Someone who smiles at you has put your name in situations that would make your soul weep if you knew the full truth. God has been watching it all. You have been too trusting. Too loving. Too open. That's not a flaw, it's the beauty of your soul. But heaven says enough is enough. You have been manipulated by those who used your goodness against you. They thought your kindness meant weakness. They thought your silence meant blindness. They thought your patience meant foolishness. But what they forgot is this: you are God's child. You are not unprotected. You are not ignored. You are not forgotten. Archangel Michael has been pleading for you, fighting for you, crying over you. He has watched the injustice and the betrayal and the deception. He has stood guard at your door while you slept, warding off spirits of despair and confusion. He has stood between you and curses that were meant to take you out. But even he cannot act fully unless you agree to receive this message. God's protection is ready. But your obedience is the key. Listen closely, this is not about fear. It's about truth. You deserve to know the truth. The truth about who really sabotaged that opportunity. The truth about why that person left. The truth about what was taken from you while you were too heartbroken to see clearly. The truth about why your money keeps slipping through your fingers. The truth about why certain patterns keep repeating. It's not bad luck. It's not just life. It's spiritual warfare. It's cycles. And now, the time has come to break them. You have 7 minutes. Not to run. Not to panic. But to receive. Open your spirit and receive divine intervention. A reset. A reversal. A breaking of curses. A correction of timelines. A restoration of everything that was stolen from you while you weren't looking. This is not about making you afraid, it's about making you free. Because what God has for you is still waiting. It has not expired. It has not been given away. Your destiny has not been reassigned. But there is urgency in this moment. Because the longer you delay, the more you risk permanent damage. Archangel Michael says this is not a test. This is not a drill. This is your last warning. You don't get another message like this tomorrow. There won't be a backup signal. This is it. So what do you do now? You pray. Even if it's just 2 words. Say, God, help. You believe. Even if your heart is shaking. Even if your trust is fragile. Say, God, I trust you. You stay still. Don't run to distractions. Don't scroll away. Don't ignore this with the excuse of being busy. Heaven waited for this moment. All of time bent itself to bring you here. Right now. This very second. And now, you must decide. Do you step into the divine path? Or do you allow fear, pride, or disbelief to steal the very blessing you've been praying for? God says this, I am not threatening you. I am warning you. Because I love you. Because I have watched you cry and suffer and give your all to people who never gave back. Because I watched you sleep next to betrayal. I watched you eat dinner with people who laughed behind your back. I watched you bless people who secretly cursed your name. And I stayed silent. Not because I didn't care, but because I was watching the timing. And now, the time has come. I will no longer allow them to prosper by hurting you. I will no longer allow them to use your energy for their gain. I will no longer allow your name to be dragged through the shadows. But I need your agreement. Say it with your soul, I receive. Say it with your tears, if words fail you. Say it in the quiet of your heart if your voice is trembling. Because if you don't, if you walk away again, if you skip this one last time, then the doors will close. Not because I don't love you, but because I gave you the final call, and you chose silence. Do not choose silence. Choose to be seen by heaven. Choose to be protected. Choose to be aligned. Choose to say yes. Because this yes will save you. This yes will stop the losses. This yes will stop the patterns. This yes will cancel the plans of your enemies. This yes will bring the hidden helpers forward. This yes will give Archangel Michael full access to fight on your behalf. This yes will move heaven. I've seen what they said behind your back. I've seen what they did in your name. I've seen the email they deleted so you wouldn't know. I've seen the contract they sabotaged. I've seen the call that was intercepted. I've seen the jealousy that poisoned their friendship with you. And now, I'm removing them. But I need you to let me. No more mourning what is being removed. No more grieving what is not of me. No more chasing after people who do not carry your calling. You are more than what you lost. You are more than who left. You are more than the heartbreak, the confusion, the betrayal, the depression, the fear, the exhaustion, the poverty, the delay. You are my beloved. You are my chosen one. You are my miracle in motion. And no enemy, no human, no witchcraft, no curse, no loss can stop what I am now releasing. But time is thin. 7 minutes. And then the doors begin to shift. This is your final warning, but also your greatest chance. You've never been closer to your breakthrough than right now. Don't miss it. Don't walk away. Don't let the lie that says, "It's not for me," rob you of what I made just for you. I sent this because you cried last night. I sent this because you whispered to me in silence. I sent this because even when you were broken, you were still kind. I sent this because I have something for you that eyes haven't seen, ears haven't heard, hearts haven't conceived. It's bigger than they think. It's coming faster than they expect. And watch me move. Watch me turn the tide. Watch me expose what needs to be revealed. Watch me exalt you where they tried to erase you. Watch me restore everything. This is not the end. It is the divine beginning. Your obedience activates it all. Say yes. I am waiting. And I won't ask again. Archangel Michael says, "This is my final warning. If you skip this, you will suffer great losses within the next 7 minutes." The moment your eyes touched these words, heaven began to shake the gates of your destiny. This isn't just another message. This is not something to read and forget. God says, do not take this as a joke. This is not a random scroll on a screen. This is a divine interruption. This is your rescue. This is your last alert before something is removed from your life forever. If you ignore this, you will cry for the rest of your life. If you pause now, if you walk away, you may never get this moment back. You have cried and prayed for signs. You've begged heaven to send you something, anything, to confirm that God still sees you. That He still knows your pain. This is that sign. This is the divine message you didn't know you were waiting for. Archangel Michael has been watching you, waiting patiently, silently protecting you from countless invisible attacks. But even angels have limits to how many times they can warn a soul before they must step aside and let consequences teach what warnings could not. He is not threatening you, He is pleading with you. This is not out of punishment, but out of protection. You are seconds away from making a mistake that will haunt you forever if you don't listen. God says, I have been watching the doors you've been knocking on. Some of them are traps dressed in beauty. Some of them are poisoned with sweet words. I am closing the wrong doors now, even if it hurts you. You are not being punished. You are being protected from destruction. The people who left your life recently did not leave by accident. They were removed by divine force. If you fight to bring them back, if you ignore this and invite them into your space again, the pain that follows will break you. That is not my will for you. I want to protect you. But I cannot override your free will. You must choose. This is your last chance to walk away from the very thing trying to ruin you. Archangel Michael says you already feel it. You already know something is not right. You've been waking up with a heaviness. You've been sensing danger, feeling unseen anxiety, having dreams that make no sense. That is not your imagination. That is your soul sounding the alarm. That is your spirit trying to protect your future. Every single thing that has been happening is tied to this very moment. You are at a crossroads. And what you choose next will either bring you into your divine purpose, or rip everything away from you. God says, you are not too late yet, but the clock is ticking. In exactly 7 minutes, something will shift. That shift will either be in your favor, or against it, depending on your response right now. This is why it's so urgent. This is why the warning is so sharp. Because you are not dealing with ordinary time anymore. You are standing in divine timing. And divine timing waits for no one. I have held things back just for you, delayed other people's plans, rerouted danger from your path, all to give you this one last opportunity to turn toward me completely. Archangel Michael says, there is a person around you who is secretly working against your destiny. You keep forgiving them, loving them, giving them chances, but they do not deserve your kindness anymore. This person is not just toxic, they are spiritually dangerous. They carry the energy of sabotage. They are draining your life force. They smile in your face and speak against you in private. You've had hints. You've felt the betrayal in your gut. But you've ignored it because your heart is too soft. This message is your final push to cut the cord. Because if you don't, they will cost you your next miracle. They will block what God is trying to give you. God says, I am not asking you to live in fear. I am asking you to live in wisdom. I have been speaking to you through dreams, through whispers, through little nudges you keep brushing off. You say you are waiting for a sign, but I've given you hundreds. You say you want me to speak, but I've been screaming through your circumstances. What you are reading now is my final shout. If you skip this, you will suffer more than necessary.